Tim, these chairs are really comfy.
Oh man, I could fall asleep right now.
Do you know where to get some?
No, I don't. Do you?
Noble Chairs.
Noble Chairs.
They do great chairs. Hello, welcome back to Epic 40. We're getting ready to kick off the group stage round 4. Players are just coming back from their lunch break, so I think we're going to have a little bit of a chat about how the games have been going so far. We'll start off, I think, first with Group A.
Yep.
Pot 1, Puffle Pals. Dutchy, Synergy, Moz.
Pot 1, top 4 seed.
Top 4 seed. They were upset by the 6th seed of their group in the Book Club.
The 6th seed?
6th seed. That's groups have. That's the bottom half at the very least.
Yeah.
And they're currently sat 2-1 in their group, but that's a big upset, and they can't be particularly happy about that one.
No, a 13-11 scoreline, especially how it was so close to the wire, and they lost to. Again, this is no disrespect to Canny, but they lost to Canny, that level of players. And then you come into it, and Puffle Pals, those players, they've played at the heights of Maine. The core of that team have been playing together for a long time. They broke into the scene, again, the core of them, in the Havoc lineup a couple years ago now. But a lot of them have a lot of experience. Dutchy's played in ESCA Advanced, and they got upset by a mix of players who I don't even know what team experience they have. All I know is that Canny is an org-owner.
Literally a manager.
A manager.
A coach, a manager, as the saying goes. Lit's Pickers and Algorithm are yet to win a game in their group. They're currently sat 0-3. What's going on in Group B, Tim?
So in Group B, let me just check my notes. Group B, the local hero Dweg had a rough first game. He went 0-13 in his opening game. It was a 13-2 loss against the top seed of their group, K10. And yeah, the Dweg, again, everyone's favourite pick for fantasy, or at least historically has been one of the most picked players in fantasy.
He's a popular guy.
0-13. So anyone who's picked him, unlucky. You're not winning the fantasy. Let's put it that way.
He had such high hopes. The Grill King himself, and he's gone 0-13. They even won 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And he didn't even get a kill in the rounds that they won.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, you've got the top 2 seeds for Group B, K10 and Souls Land. Both of them are 3-0.
Okay.
And coming up later, we're going to have those 2 teams facing one another to see who comes out on top as the best team in that group, in what has been dubbed the Group of Death.
That should be a banger,
yeah,
I think.
Absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to that one coming through. Is that roughly where we're at with Group B? I think the other thing about Group B as well is it's followed its seeding the entire way through.
Yeah, so far.
The exact order, seeding, spot on.
Pretty much.
Go to Group C. Make-A-Wish have been struggling. We'll be watching Make-A-Wish momentarily. They almost lost to TLR, which is Snods, Byfield, Jackie of CS2 Patch Notice fame. But it's a team that they shouldn't really be losing to. Like Snods, he's grinding the game. He is competing. But the rest of that team,
they've definitely been showing a lot of weaknesses. They almost lost to another team. I can't remember exactly who it was. But
Left Lean Gang.
Left Lean Gang, there you go. A close game, like a team of the likes of LVN Zion Vacancy, who last Epic Land, they came second under 7 AM. They're getting picked apart in these close games, and we were stood behind the Make-A-Wish whilst they were playing TLR, and Snods was just picking them apart on the CT side. Every single round they started 4 versus 5, so it's not looking promising for them. They've got to really step their game up, and we're going to be casting them next, so that'll be an interesting one as well. Yeah,
with TLR, it was really interesting actually to go and sit behind Snods. Snods sat in the middle calling for the team. He's keeping a real level head. He's keeping everybody motivated. He was basically doing therapy at this point. He's like, guys, we're having the game of our lives. We're all calm. We're having a good time. This was during freeze time. He's getting them in the zone. Jackie's playing in cinematic mode. He's only got a crosshair
and
the mini map. That's it.
No health.
No health. No HUD. Doesn't know what his teammates are doing. He's in the zone.
No kill feed. He doesn't know how many players are alive or dead unless he can count on the
He's in the zone. If they're in his crosshair, they're dying. That's
exactly.
it. We'll move on. Ross Kent Bold. They came out the gate swinging. Tim.
Yeah.
Former Ross Kent Bold player myself. Good to see the boys going on. 13-2 over Diablo, and are now biting overtime against former pros Link, Astro, and Soulcast as well. They've just come back from Valorant, and they've got absolutely smashed.
Yeah, those are some huge names. They've even got on screen on there who used to play in CX and I believe won an Epic LAN with Link, if I remember correctly. But those are some names who are, especially players who are aware of Valorant. They've been playing the likes of Team Liquid at the top of Valorant.
Yeah.
They're playing some CS2. I remember I played against Link in the Epic LAN 34 Grand Final. Like these are big names, and Ross Kent Bald come in swinging with their full kit on and beat him.
Yeah, and they have got their kit on. They're currently beating their seed as well. They're 2 points ahead of their seed. They're 4th seed. They're currently 2nd in the group.
Exactly.
So they're having a game.
And if I remember rightly, Jonesy was top fragged in that game with over 30 kills using XM only. For those who aren't aware, Jonesy's a player who is... whilst we've got a couple players in the scene like Doodles who are famous for their use of specific weapons, Doodle famous for the Negev, Jonesy, he's building himself a reputation for that XM 1014.
No, he is. He's an absolute auto shotgun abuser. Even when I played with him back at 34 in RKB, he was abusing the XM 1013, XM 1014 during that game as well. He loves the gun. He makes it work. And in CS2, it works extra well. You can punch holes in smokes, get that visibility. It's overall just a good time.
Yeah, definitely. And last but not least, we've got Group D, who was the last game we casted was Raptors, and Raptors are making light work of it. Every team they've come up against, including a 13-0 against their group 2nd seed of Genetics. So Genetics, again, like we mentioned, 2nd seed, that you'd expect them to be able to take Raptors the closest. But we saw an overpass. We saw that Genetics looked completely out of their depth playing against a team of that level on overpass. Their overpass just was not up to scratch. And Raptors, all their individuals were on form, and some of them weren't even needed. That's the level of competition that Raptors are bringing into it as probably the favourites for this event.
Yeah.
It's a very strong sign for them moving forward.
Yeah, and that's good to see. Obviously, Raptors just coming off the back of their ESL Prem win, coming into Epic LAN. They want to continue that winning streak. Obviously, they haven't got Zodi with them, but Adam has proved to be a worthwhile replacement, a good replacement. He's been absolutely working and gelling well with his team. So they're looking good.
And last but not least, the Granny's Knockers, the team, the charity team here, they're yet to win a game. And they're the only team in their group without a winner on the board. So before we know, though, they've got the show match coming up. They could get one. They could get a win. It might not be in the CS2 tournament, but it might be in a show match.
Yeah, the Granny's Knockers bin men's show match, which I believe is tomorrow.
Yes.
In the afternoon at some point.
Remember, so around 3 o'clock, if I remember correctly.
On the main stage as well.
Yeah. So
it's going to be an event.
Entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If we move into Make-A-Wish versus Invictum, though.
Yeah.
The game that we have up next. Obviously, we mentioned Make-A-Wish. They're having a bit of trouble here. They're looking a bit of a slow start. Obviously, there's potential to build into them. They've got some names on the server. LVN, Zai, Vacancy.
Like we mentioned, from 7 a.m.
Yeah, from 7 a.m. Vacancy now playing in Sprout Academy as well.
Yeah.
And he's been fitting in really well there, working really well there. The issue is they have been struggling. They were struggling against TLR, thank you, on Ancient, which one of LVN's home maps, one of 7 a.m.'s home maps. And considering that's the core...
Ever since LVN's been playing in that advanced level, Ancient has always been sort of his home map. It's been his bread and butter. Every team he's created, he's made sure that they've been good on Ancient. And it's been their primary pick in a lot of matchups.
Yeah, and they struggled on it, which is a bad sign. If your home map, you're struggling on it at a LAN. Bad sign. Obviously, the caveat, LVN recently became the coach of Gaming Legion Academy. Yeah. And we had a chat with him yesterday. He was saying he's hardly touched CS2. He's been full focus on this Gaming Legion project.
He's spending all the time doing trials, looking at other players rather than actually focusing on the new game.
Yeah, which makes sense if he's moving away from playing it, even if just temporarily. You're not going to be spending as much time on the individuals.
In terms of the focus he's been had on the game, I caught up with him in the lunch break, and he was playing Rocket League. He wasn't playing Counter-Strike. He was trying to get a Rocket League game going.
Interesting. Okay.
I think that shows a bit of the mentality coming into this event.
Sinking goals rather than planting bombs.
Yeah. Difficult one.
Difficult one.
But again, a bit more context into this lineup. These are the two highest seeded teams in their group. Make-A-Wish from pot 1, Invictum from pot 2. Invictum as a team, they've had a bit of roster turbulence recently. They had Prime leave within a week before Epic LAN, so they had to find a quick replacement. On top of that, Shaney, a well-known player historically throughout the UK scene. Yeah. And unfortunately, his house has been flooded, so he wasn't able to make it due to sorting out his living situation.
Real shame. Some of the pictures that we saw on Twitter, his house is like knee-deep water on the ground floor. It was really not nice to see. Sorry to hear that, Shaney.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, Invictum they're struggling a bit. We caught up with Eden, Alex, earlier, and he was saying that they were incredibly tilted and having a bit of an argument.
Yeah, so Eden Alex, not a player from Invictum. He was just watching behind, and he was getting some information. It seemed like they were having some troubles within the roster. This isn't, so I'll be honest, a bit of BM, but it's something that has been thrown around a lot with a lot of Sorex lineups.
Okay.
Whether it's him or whether it's just people around him, who knows? But the fact remains, they're pretty much a mixed team at this point.
Yeah.
They've got a decent amount of firepower. One player to mention is Rutko, a player who's currently, or at least recently, played for Entropic, the CSGO's team. He's had a lot of experience, peaked in the top 80 of HLTV. So this is a pro player who's got a relatively lot of experience compared to most of the players at Epic Land. Most of the players at Epic Land, I'd say 99%, do not have that level of experience, have not played to those heights, have not played in that sort of competition, and to mention he's coming in as a European import, so you'd think he'd be able to bring a lot into it. So maybe on top of that, he'd be used to a different level of sort of team play, a different level of Counter-Strike. So coming into it, he's then, if the sort of mood in the camp is not looking good, his expectations might be completely like catching him off guard. He'll come into this and he's used to playing in coordinated teams who again, like I mentioned, making that top 80, and then just to be met with people tilting and arguing a loss is not a good sign. Yeah,
and it'll be quite a shock, right, as well. Like you've come over, you made the effort to come to LAN, and then to be met with that environment, it could be quite frustrating. I think we're going to have a look at the maps, which I think could be a big decider here. Obviously, we mentioned Make-A-Wish struggled on Ancient earlier on in the tournament, so I'd like to see exactly where the veto goes.
From what I've been discussing as well with LVN and Vacancy, at the moment they've got no map pool. This is the first time that these 5 players have played together at all, so they're taking the group stage as almost a test. They're trying to play as many different maps as they can so that they can get a good idea as to what they're strong on for when playoffs come around, should they make it.
Yeah.
I mean, they should make it, but it's a case of
you never know.
Yeah,
right?
How far are they going to go, judging by their performance? It looks like it's going to be a Vertigo as the final map, the only map in this best of 1 series, that's going to be a difficult one to nail down. Vertigo is a very default heavy map, and not only that, there's not much map control to be worked on a default heavy map, which is strange. Like, you think of the default heavy maps such as Inferno and Overpass. Overpass is huge. Inferno has got very key points of the map control to be worked back and forth, such as Banana. Vertigo, in terms of map control, it's just a ramp. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the only useful point of map control to be worked on a default. So it's a very one-dimensional map, which can lend itself to sort of mixed teams, to teams who don't have that deeper playbook, because it's very simple. It's very plug and play in that sense. But at the same time, Vertigo is a map which you can play to a higher level, especially on that CT side. It's not quite that default heavy on that CT side. You have to be dynamic with gathering that information to avoid just being walked over by just a 5-man walk up the ramp. And that's something which you'd expect LVN to have in his wheelhouse. You'd expect Vacancy and Zai to be used to that sort of play. I know 7am did play Vertigo to his relatively decent level. But again, the question is, can they repeat that performance coming in since 7am have disbanded, coming into this now as a little bit of a reunion in this mix with two other players coming in? Can they repeat that performance against a mix in the likes of Invictum?
Yes, they've got to bed these new players in, and then exactly, and I think also you've got the new mechanics in CS2 as well. We mentioned that LVN hasn't played much CS2 since it's come out. The smoke at the bottom of the ramp is a standard default nade out of the CTs every time. If you're contesting for that as T-side, you can now lob a HE in for it, go for some fights. It might be something that catches him off guard, potentially. It could, it could throw a real spanner in the works.
It makes a massive change on Vertigo because, as I mentioned, it's that only point of map control. Therefore, the meta was often just a battle of smokes, grenades, utility on that ramp. Again, especially smokes, with one-way smokes towards the top of the ramp for the CTs. You'd have smokes from the Ts to block off vision so they could isolate certain fights. That's pretty much Vertigo in a nutshell. And now with the smokes changing, that's going to completely change how that map is going to work.
Yeah, I mean, we've casted obviously a lot of CS2 recently, and I'm really enjoying some of the changes that are coming in, and these new mechanics, being able to blow open smokes.
They make for a brilliant spectacle to watch.
Yeah, they make for a brilliant spectacle to watch. They also change the tactical aspect of the game, which I'm loving to see. And as well, the removal of one-way smokes. You mentioned the one-way on the ramp where you throw the smoke underneath.
Because plenty of the amount of one-way smokes there were on Vertigo ramp was absurd.
Yeah, crazy. And even on the stairs on B.
Yeah.
So the removal of those, or at least not complete removal. There's probably still a couple of angles that it sort of favours, but for the most part, one-way smokes, as we knew them, are dead. And I think that's made a real difference in terms of more consistently reproducible rounds, right? Like, you're not you relying on a gimmick and pre-firing over because you know that somebody could peek in there, that sort of thing. It's all based on if you can see them, you can shoot them this time.
Yeah, but at the same time, that completely changes the CT defense relied quite heavily on being able to use those smokes to guarantee yourself a pick or make sure if the Ts were aware that that smoke was going to come on in, then the Ts would then have to adjust how they played. Now that's not going to be a factor. You can't throw a smoke and then the Ts have to respect the smoke.
Yeah.
The Ts don't have to respect these one-way smokes. They don't have to be quite so worried about them. Therefore, it's going to be easier for them to push up. But at the same time, again, you've got the changes back and forth, you know, checks and balances. The fact that the smokes can be blown apart by HEs, the fact that you can shoot, when you shoot through, you create a little hole, so there's more vision, there's more information for the CTs to then gather through those smokes, to tell if there's any T, to tell who's going, where the T side is going to be on that A ramp, and if they're not there, then that's, again, information you can use to react, adjust your CT side setup. The
main thing, though, that I do want to see, vertigo, it does lend itself to it in some areas. I want to see a shotgun somewhere.
Yes.
That's my main thing. I'm loving watching shotguns in CS2, and I think without any further ado, we'll get into the game. Absolutely. It could be hopefully a banger. Hopefully. The seeding, at least, should make this into a banger, but you never know at this stage in the tournament. We've had many an upset so far. We're kicking things off here with the pistol round. CT side start out of Invictum. 3 sets Kevlar, heavy utility on Sorex. We've also got utility on Hartles as well, a smoke and a kit. It's a lot of util for a CT side. Invictum, on the other hand, they're going for full set of Kevlar. Yeah, they've taken most of the ramp control here. Make-A-Wish are playing quite passively. They're not playing for the information game at all on their CT side. It's just 2 players playing retake towards A. A bait and switch setup over towards B, but based off the information that Invictum are giving them, they're not reacting. But neither are Invictum. They're just waiting for the push. They're waiting for that CT aggression to come on in. LVN pushing up on the ramp, takes contact, goes down for free. Does gather the information that there's at least 2 players over here towards A. The strike comes in towards B. Barbosa lying in wait. Zai goes 1 for 1. Yeah, wait, Max. Picking up that trade frag there, vacancy. Next up to the plate here, Dancer behind the double boxes. 3 players on his screen, he's unable to land the shot on any of them. And now it's a 1 versus 4 here. First headshot found. Looking for the second one, unable to find it. And it's going to be the win going the way of Make-A-Wish. Yeah, 1-0 so far. A good recovery there in that CT side when it comes to the retake. They lost the first 2 opening picks, but the trade frags come on through. Team names on the HUD are swapped over. Just noticed that. So it's Invictum who've won the first round. Yeah, it's Invictum who've won the first round. Sorry, there. Bit of confusion figuring that one out. Got Invictum. Got the SMGs, an early pick here. With that M4A1S. Got Make-A-Wish. Just grouping up in towards middle. We've got a pot play. 3 pistols running in towards mid as LVN throws the utility. MP7's going to put in some work. Find a couple frags. 2 versus 4. Yet to make it to the bomb site, but now Make-A-Wish, they're completely split up here. Gonna isolate these fights. LVN goes down, yeah. Clean 2-0 out of Invictum here. SMG's farming a little bit of cash, building up that bank account. Got the guns coming out, though, for Make-A-Wish. LVN and co all have AKs. The entire squad, good amount of utility. Got 4 MP9s on Invictum, so potentially a fast play coming in here. You can see pressure toward B. 3 players getting quite aggressive on the stairs. Got a player in middle as well. They are looking to fight. In the meantime, though, Make-A-Wish taking ramp control. And this is one of the adjustments. You see that smoke coming in the middle of the ramp that lands halfway up for on the A ramp. But this time thrown by the Ts to allow them to deny vision of the CTs. Gives them a bit of breathing room to take control. LVN finding an opening frag there over towards Ivy. Can make it difficult now for Invictum as they are 2 players down. These SMGs struggle to find these counter frags. Zareem walking into middle, gives up the free 1v1. Direct peeking over the smoke, getting aggressive here. There's no trade frags coming on in. Yeah, I mean, equalize. It's 2 equalizing kills given away for free there. Just walking in, trying to get solo info. It's not good enough at this stage. And with the HP on LVN and Zai, this is not looking promising. Considering, again, they had those 2 opening picks, a 5 versus 3.
And there's strong likelihood these SMGs at range, they can easily just shred the 12 and 17 HP respectively. These two players. Make-A-Wish just going to sit patiently here in this even 3 versus 3. Hope that Invictum give them an inch so that they can take a mile. Vacancy finds the first, and on that hit, Zai's going to strike. Perfect timing, catch off the rotation. They pick apart Invictum's defense. Just Heartless left, rotating in on the 1 versus 3.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. He's got the MP9, able to upgrade it to an AK here, picking it up in elevator, pushing his way on in. It does look like he wants to go for it. He's got a defuse kit, he's got a smoke, and he's changed his mind. He's out of there.
In a 1 versus 3, the bomb down on that A site, it's very difficult for him to find anything, especially with his location revealed. Keep the money high. As you can see, the funds aren't looking too promising for Invictum. If they keep this AK alive, they'll be able to get a decent buy next round. Well, they'll be able to get a decent buy next round regardless, but it's about ensuring that round after round after round you keep having opportunities, you keep having upgraded weapons, and that's what the saving is all about. Yeah,
I mean, Captain Barbosa's down on 1650, so a gun could be dropped across by Heartles then if they wanted to keep. They wanted to go for an ACOR, for example.
Considering they had the 0 round loss bonus, it means that they need those funds. They won't have a perfect buy no matter what. Still be workable if they can find some heroics, set up their rifles correctly to succeed. Got a decent amount of utility to try and block. In fact, they've got a very, very good amount of utility to try and block out Make-A-Wish. Early HE.
Love it.
Zyrene down low. Makes these SMGs that's just that little bit more deadly against the low HP players.
Heartles pivoting around the sandbag. You can hear all these shots going up towards Gap. His teammate under fire. Now he activates behind the sandbag, picks up the first onto Igorek and falls back. That's a man advantage for Invictum here. And considering the lackluster weaponry, a much needed one.
Yeah, Make-A-Wish playing things relatively slowly with the exception of that pick. They've still got one player just posturing outside B, one player just posturing outside mid here in Zyrene. They're not committed to taking any map control together here. We've got a minute left on the clock. They managed to bait out a lot of utility. I said at the start of the round, Invictum had plenty of it, but now they've got none. We've got a minute left on the clock, and what do they have? 2 flashes, a smoke, and a HE. That's not going to be enough if Make-A-Wish decide to hit a site coordinated together. There's a nice crossfire in place, but it's just been broken as the rotation comes on towards that A site. They've managed to pull that rotation. They're walking mid completely dry. No one's spotting for information. Vacancy's going to get a free frag. Now wait, Max. Falling off to group up with his teammates. And now this is nice from Invictum. Proactive reaction. Rather than choosing to fight middle, they choose to just group up. Let's fight A. Destroy that opposite prong of the attack.
Sorex trying to come in with a couple of kills on the flank. He manages to catch a timing, but he's unable to secure the kill. Just does a lot of damage. In the meantime, Zai's picked up a kill. LVN chiming in. Slowly, Invictum are being whittled down. Sorex left alone against 2 with the MP9, jumping through the smoke. And it will be Make-A-Wish tying us up 2-2.
There's a strong showing so far. Managed to recover these last 2 rounds. And with the issues we've seen so far with Make-A-Wish, in terms of the previous games, how close they've been, a lot of their issues have been the fundamentals of the tradings, the openings. And again, Vertigo being a very simple, default-focused map. Very small map in terms of the actual map control used to work. It can almost make up for those missing pieces of trading. As the options are far fewer, you're much more likely to make the correct decision. Immediate USPs, going for those frags, going for that swing out on the ramp, mowing up light work here for Make-A-Wish as Invictum's money have been broken.
Yeah, I like the concept. They were stacked up with the USPs. Dropping a flash in.
One basket.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, it doesn't quite pay off.
You got tiny eggs. Put them in one basket.
Yeah, you know, you don't overdo it.
Yeah. Or build them up to make one big egg.
A massive egg.
Yeah.
The egg of eggs.
Yeah, then that egg might be able to do some damage.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Don't drop it as an egg. It will break. What is breaking right now is Vacancy's entry attempt. Falling through that smoke, not a single player coming into trade. There was a flash to push him through the smoke, but it goes down for free. There's just too many players from Invictum fighting 3 players on A ramp, and Make-A-Wish not adapting to that. With MR12, you have to adapt much more early on. They should take a note that Invictum, they've played 3-1-1 Counter-Strike here on this CT side constantly, and now they've got that opening pick. They've deterred that ramp control. They've made a really good rotation. over towards this B site, which is exactly where Make-A-Wish are walking towards. Vacancy's gone down, so we're like, okay, we failed towards A, let's try towards B.
Yeah, it's a nice call, and they've baited at the location of the AWP. The crossfire now able to activate. Waymax doubles up. LVN picks one up on the entry, working his way in around the side of the site, and he's got another. Doubled up. Picks himself up a second, and now Zai brings us into a 2 versus 2 with a headshot of his own. Suddenly, the site's cracked open. Waymax with yet another kill. He's 4 in the round for him now. Zai in a 1 versus 2. See if he can isolate these 1v1 fights. He's pushing in close underneath Heaven. He wants to isolate a fight before he goes for any kind of bomb-related play, whether he goes for a plant, a tap, and now he's going to hold. He's going to wait for a reaction out of Invictum. Wait for them to make the mistakes. Let them get antsy.
He's got plenty of time to play with. Invictum know this, though. They're going to wait until Zai makes any move. They're going to wait till they hear the bombs get planted. Get information so they can make an informed decision rather than an uninformed one.
Zai desperately trying to bait one of these peeks out. You can see he drops the smoke to give the sense that he's going to go for a plant, even peeks into CT spawn, not giving away. Gets it down with 10 seconds on the clock and they're doubling up. They're coming in together. Zai going to have a really difficult job isolating these 1v1s. They're peeking every angle together. Zai swings out, miss spray, almost connects it. It's a bit too messy. And it is going to be picked up. Waymax with the ace. All 5 kills.
Yeah, that's going to be a 3rd round for Invictum, equalising things up. And Waymax, yeah, after the aces on 9 frags, he's looking promising so far against Make-A-Wish. But again, it comes from a really readable T-side hit there from Make-A-Wish. They decide to send 1 player up the ramp, just 1, in the form of Vacancy, hoping that he's enough to create a distraction. But when you're up against 3 players on A, which is, again, the default setup, a 3-1-1, he's not going to find any success. And the fact that after that you immediately decide to go to B after failing on A, that's such a readable rotation, a readable adjustment from Invictum.
Or behind the sandbags. Needs to be careful because the players bypass the crosshairs, dropping a smoke. He's going to get caught. And there it is, Vacancy with the opening kill, walking his way up the ramp. He is isolated on his own though. And Hearts has been able to pick up his teammate in LVN, which means Vacancy completely isolated, very little support. He's playing a lurk role here. The entire Make-A-Wish squad completely separated.
So now this sort of lurk has been successful, making that presence, making the A round such a threat.
Oh,
forces Invictum to have to rotate it, and then Make-A-Wish can play with those rotations. Then they can start making pressure towards B and mid, as long as A remains a threat. But you've got to have success towards A, and you can't just gamble on one single player doing that with a single flash against a 3-1-1 setup. Yeah,
no, absolutely. Invictum are going to take the first tactical timeout off the back of that loss. Makes sense, their money is in the bin. Waymax down to just 1950. Everyone sat around the 2,000 mark. There's a little bit extra on the AWP and Hartles.
Just Zai enjoying that Molotov there. Careful it doesn't explode.
Yeah, he's having a good time.
Yeah, it's interesting that they decided to use a tactical timeout here when they're going up. They're on an eco. They've got just USPs, trying to assess exactly how they want to approach this round. Maybe they've used the tactical timeout to assess how they want to approach the next round, knowing that this one is pretty much a throwaway. They've gone for a B stack. And it is going to be a heavy B presence here, but LVN lining up 2 through the wood, make it 3 before going down. And even a team kill coming into it. Blink of an eye, the stack just falls apart.
Yeah, and you've got to imagine that tactical timeout is for this gun round here.
Yeah,
like
if it was for that last round, they're going to be really disappointed.
Yeah, no, they've taken the timeout. They've discussed what they want to do in the next gun round. They've gone, right, we're on an eco now. Let's just stack the bomb site, see what happens. Turns out what happens is LVN walks in, gets a load of kills. They've doubled up on the tactical timeouts. There's another one.
So maybe that tactical timeout, if that tactical timeout was for that pistol round, tactical timeouts last 30 seconds, by the way, guys. 30 seconds. That round didn't even last 30 seconds.
The timeout lasted longer than the round.
They spent more time thinking about the round than the round lasted.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't. I imagine this is just to add some finishing touches onto whatever the plan is.
But this is where that context we had by speaking to people about this Invictum lineup before comes into it. So as Eden told us, that Invictum, they've been tilting, they've been arguing. Maybe that's what this timeout is for. Either to cool their heads, or so they can get the arguing out of the system.
Yeah, no, it absolutely could be.
Get what they have to say off their chest, so they're not saying it in the middle of a round. But we do have an AWP out in play. We'll see if they can find some opening picks. There's the first directly into middle. Completely untraded. Igorek goes down. There was one player behind, but chooses not to continue facing after the AWP finds that free frag.
Yeah, and they're going to fall back and double up as well, so even if there was a swing now.
But look at this adjustment from Invictum. They've gone for a 1-2-2 setup. They've identified that Make-A-Wish are trying to work B, trying to work mid. They're not really doing anything towards A.
Oh.
But in doing so, they've allowed Vacancy to have all this room to work with. Finds that opening pick. Again, this AWPer keeping things level, keeping things going the way of Invictum with that man advantage.
Yeah, traded out. Man advantage still for Invictum. CTs.
Look at this rotation they pulled. Vacancy has gone down, but a player coming in behind. This not normally.
Make-A-Wish just holding for the main time. They're taking a bit of space here on B. Molotov onto quad should give things away, especially with the player now being spotted, and the rotation will come in for the CTs. Barreling their way around. Zai going down for free. Now 2-man advantage for Invictum. Sorex just pivoting around the generator.
No, bomb's not even down.
Yeah, taken down by a bit of spam. They're attempting a retake before the bombs even hit the deck. Not wanting to allow that.
Extra bit of cash to go towards the T's.
In
fact, it's a good idea. Take the fight whilst you know that the player's got a bomb in his hands. There's one less player to be able to shoot at you. And they play it well. Invictum, after getting that opening on that AWP player.
Yeah, it was a nice reaction.
But I can't help but think, again, Make-A-Wish, please start doing something towards A. Vertigo is all about A. You can just let the CTs make the mistakes by defaulting towards A. Do a 4-1 something, please. Instead of just bumping your heads up against the wall, trying to go 2 towards B, 2 towards mid. Just leave one person holding the flank. Walk your way up to A site. It's free. The CTs, it's so hard to actually defend that A site when the T's have numbers there.
Sorex and Hartles dropping down to MP9s. We can see a nade blowing the smoke to give Sorex a little bit of information. In the meantime, though, Make-A-Wish working their way up the ramp with 3 players. There's very little here in the way of a defense. It's just Hartles playing passive. They're playing retake A.
With an MP9 of all things, HE's going to do a decent amount of damage, make it harder for him to try and contest, try and defend this site. Utility's going to come on raining in as Invictum rotate over towards this site. We'll see what Make-A-Wish have in their playbook in terms of an execute. They're still allowing their lurkers to work. They've not grouped up yet for a site hit. There is a minute to play with, but that's also a minute for Invictum to pick off these T players who aren't quite grouped up on the ramp.
Yeah, it looks like there might be an AWP duel. Momentarily, both holding their nerve, holding these angles down. It is a complete stalemate here, Tim. They are just staring at each other's angles. The hit is going to come in through the ramp, though. Make-A-Wish exploding onto the bomb site. Hartle's trying to beat the utility. Is taken down by Vacancy, and now this AWP. Oh, the timing's horrendous. Egorek gets the kill. Zai with another opening. Waitmax finally able to get one in response, but he's dead. 2 versus 4.
And even then, they have this Zyrene lurk coming on in. Try and guarantee that these weapons don't stay alive. Sorex does find him, though. It keeps into a 2 versus 3, but the bomb so far takes in the post plan well established. Invictum should be walking off to save.
The money's not great as well, so Invictum need to keep these rifles away in order to be able to buy in the next. CT economy brutal, especially with 3 less rounds in the half.
That's the adjustment I wanted to see from Make-A-Wish. That's exactly what I wanted to see. That's the meta of Vertigo. That's what makes this map so even, or even used to be T-sided, is how easy it is for the T's to take A. Take that ramp, use that map control, use your numbers to take that part of the map, and then from that point, sit, let the CTs make the mistakes, and then it's such an easy way to execute. And not only that, they did that perfectly in the fact that they went up on that right side, ignored Ivy, let the CTs have that part of the map control, and then as soon as contact was made on the site, it was then that Zai swung in, perfectly timed. As soon as contact came in, he knows that's exactly when that AWP is going to turn around if there's anyone there.
And we can see the benefit of those saved rifles, because you look at Waitmax, he's got a deagle and armor, and that's it. They have managed to pull 3 rifles out in an MP9, and they're going aggressive towards the B stairs this time. Make-A-Wish. Hartles on the other side with the MP9, and he's managed to pick up the first kill. LVN, the in-game leader, going down. And now, no trade found. Make-A-Wish, they're forced to back away a little bit, reassess.
There's no one there behind to trade LVN. He walks in, yes, he whiffs the spray, abysmal spray from him, but the fact that there's no one there to help him, it was just a single MP9, a laboured spray also from Heartless.
And they're still hanging around outside the B stairs. They're waiting for a bit of a free pick. They have allowed one player to rotate off and perhaps search a little bit at the bottom of the ramp here.
But it's going to be a very easy trade. Yeah, he's not even checking this corner. Egorek goes down.
Zai looking for a trade. It's another doubled up.
Yeah, this round has fallen incredibly flat here for Make-A-Wish. It's so disappointing to see as well, because they had the good call. They made that adjustment, as I mentioned, to start working A properly. hang on a minute, Vacancy's going to find one. Flash comes on in, Waymax is hiding, but the Flash blinds him, he gets taken down. Big trade, and a fluffed spray from Zyrium, he goes down. Victim take that round, but as I was saying, that they made that adjustment by working effectively. Then they made a brilliant call to then react and go for a B rush, exactly when Invictum decided to adapt. Invictum went for heavy ramp control, they went for that rush, but it was so poorly executed from Make-A-Wish. They had LVN going up early, no one else behind, Heartless not blind, with an MP9. He's on his own. It was a perfect call, but so poorly executed with no trade.
Yeah, I can't help but feel that if there's a player with LVN to trade, or if he just doesn't whiff that spray, it's a completely different round. It's all off the back of that opening when you go for such an assertive, chips all in sort of play.
It's not the play you'd expect from the caliber of players like Vacancy and Zai. You'd expect them to understand that trading is the name of the game.
Vacancy naded out. Let's clear the smoke a little bit, allow him to peek around yellow. Hartle's playing in the sandbags, he's not going to be checked, opening kill found. Swings out for another and he is punished for the aggression. Egorek picking that kill up, 4 versus 4. Utility not looking too great on Make-A-Wish, but the same can be said for Invictum. They've got a single flash and a smoke. Left with a minute on the clock. Egorek now prepping his smoke, right side sight. He's going to make his way up onto the site. Waymax on top of the box. Catches him off guard, bit of an off angle. Elevated, 3 versus 3, but look at Zai go into the bomb site, picks up a couple of kills. Man advantage now in the hands of Make-A-Wish. Barbosa elevating himself over the headshot box, equalizing the numbers. Bomb will be planted. Zai gets it down, but Invictum getting aggressive through the smoke. 2 kills found in quick succession, and they tie the score up 6-6.
The trades come on in for Make-A-Wish, hitting that site, like I mentioned, a decent site here. But the post plant was far from established. Going for that default plan, Captain Barbosa should not have been. Is the only possibility to deny that plan or to get any frags was to jump on top of that headshot box. That should be the first point of priority for any sort of post plan to cover the plan as it comes on in. Now we're going to be tied up 6-6 as we go into the second half as the teams swap. Make-A-Wish go onto the CT side. We'll see what they bring out in the pistol. It's going to be 5 sets of Kevlar for them and 4 for Invictum, including a smoke and a Molotov as they barrel in towards mid.
Yeah, it's going to be a fast one by the listenings. In fact, no. They've all hit the shift keys. They're slowing down. They're walking in. Zai on the other side. He's going to have to go huge here. He's unable to connect any of the shots. He finally gets at least 1, but I can't help but feel like he should have got at least 2 there. Holding the angle perfectly. Misses the click.
Yeah, spamming away. He doesn't even kill the player who's shooting out.
4 on 4. The rest of Make-A-Wish. All with Kevlar. And none of this utility's been used yet on Invictum. Smoke and a Molotov still available for use.
On information play coming from Egorek. In fact, he's flanked all the way. He's found the timing, found the bomb. Takes the frag and immediately falls away. He knows if he stays around too long, he's going to get trade fragged, and somehow he's managed to get away, even opening the door at the perfect timing to block the vision. He gets away all the way up the stair, up the ladder, man. I can't even speak.
That was so good. Getting that kill and then recognizing that he needs to fall off because they're going to be searching for the trade, and now LVN comes in with another counter. Igor comes back down the ladder. Make-A-Wish circling the sharks, smelling the blood in the water. Following Invictum all the way up the stairs. LVN going to line him up, gets the first, spots the second, calls the information out. They know where he is. It's only a matter of time. Vacancy gets it, 7-6.
Beautiful round from Egorek there. Getting that information play towards B. But it's the fact that after he got the kill, after he got the bomb down, he didn't hang around to take another duel. He immediately got his knife out and ran away because he knows that by wasting time, it allows his teammates, his experienced teammates, to make a much more informed decision. And he stays alive, even opening the door on the toilets to block the site as he runs around the corner. That is just another level.
Yeah, considering that he's one of the lesser experienced players on this team, that was a very wise play.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're going to see Make-A-Wish. They've got the full rifles after winning that round. LVN just jump spotting ramp. They've got the control of the map. Something which, again, Invictum didn't do so often was actually fully take control of that ramp so assertively. Invictum themselves, they're on a full eco, just a single flash to their name. They're going to be sitting, waiting for a Make-A-Wish over aggression. And they're going to group up for what is likely to be a retake on this ramp. Pop flash comes on in. They charge up the ramp. Vacancy fully blind. Lands a headshot. LVN and Vacancy, they fall off, play retake, drop the smoke. Vacancy staying alive in the sandbags. He's only able to go good for another one.
Yeah, overwhelmed. And a bomb plant. Luckily denied, because that was the entire goal for Invictum. You'd be happy without a full Glock eco with just a couple of flashes. Luckily, Make-A-Wish do recover. They only lose 1 player in vacancy. 8th round, starting to build a little bit of a lead. This is where the guns come out.
Yeah, this half, now that it's swapped onto the CT side, now that the CTs can play a little bit more of an assertive game, I think this is where Make-A-Wish should come into their own as more experienced players.
3 MP9s on the CT side. Got a full set of AKs on Invictum, so Make-A-Wish going to have to try and close the distance. Get these MP9s activated in situations that are beneficial to them up close. We see the smoke being blown on the ramp. LVN able to get vision, spot information, doesn't actually see anything. Secondary HE grenade.
Pushed off by this Molotov, that's going to deny his ability to gather information quite so deep. Invictum are going to start walking up off the back of that. Again, the other 2 players outside of this A ramp for Invictum, just playing passively, waiting to see grab. Again, goes to the swing, he lines up
lovely.
2, a lovely spray on that M4A1S. Turns out that Rocket League practice in the lunch break, paying dividends.
Yeah, I mean, that's an absolutely huge opening out of LVN. You're going to be happy with that one. Now there's only 2 players left. Make it 1, Captain Barbosa alone, and he gets 1 traded out. Lovely stuff, Make-A-Wish.
And you can hear the cheers, the screams coming in from Make-A-Wish. They're quite close to us. They're just over to our right. I can hear them screaming as they win each round.
LVN's having a good time. I can just about see him.
Yeah, they're having a good time now that they start to get a lead. Get that energy into it. As soon as they get that energy going, they're going to be able to start dictating the pace of this game. They're going to start making those aggressive information plays on the CT side, which makes things so much easier when it comes to rotating and being in the right position to destroy these T assaults. LVN finds a free frag, peeking over the top.
Vacancy caught though. Hartles with the Tech 9, and he's able to pick up the M4. It's recoverable. Egret comes in, beautiful headshot. Holding a crack angle. Spots his head through the sliver, rips it off. It is just pistols for Invictum here, so they shouldn't be able to do much more, but they're getting these close-range engagements. The timing for Egret manages to get 1. LVN comes up to clean the second.
Yeah, a clean round there for Make-A-Wish. They're starting to tie things together here. 10-6, up to double digits. Looking a little bit more like the scoreline you'd expect, despite it being a 6-6 half.
Yeah. Could do with them starting to solidify a bit, Make-A-Wish. I think they need to start showing a bit of confidence after these tricky starts. Because if every game for them is going to be scrappy, then they're quickly going to tire out. I mean, it's a long day today. The first day of LAN, you get the full group stage, and then you start the playoffs as well if you get promoted. It's a long day of playing. Started at 10 today.
Yeah. Fortunately, it's only best of 1s, though. I think they're a little bit more manageable, a little bit more digestible when it comes to playing multiple in a row.
Yeah, especially now that there are less rounds.
Yeah.
And I think we've been running pretty much on time today as well, so the players have been able to get their breaks.
Just about, thanks to a 13-0 from Raptors.
Yeah, exactly that. They've been able to go out and enjoy the food trucks. Great food.
Yeah, definitely. Some of the burgers we've had today have been absurd.
Oh, fantastic.
Seems like Sorex has dropped from the server, technical issue. Hopefully he'll rejoin the server as soon as possible.
Yeah, we'll see what's up. Get that sorted. We have been standing while casting. I'm just about to take a seat.
Yeah, what seat are you sitting in?
I'm sitting in a noble chair, Tim. It's nice and comfortable. Noble
It
chair. It's beautiful.
Would you recommend them?
I would absolutely recommend them. Casting in them is fantastic.
I think you might be right.
Nice bit of reclining.
I'm going to have to agree with you. They're comfortable. They recline. Look at that. You're moving the seat. You're moving the curtains, man.
Yeah.
How dare you, man? You're revealing the illusion.
Listen, I'm having a great time. Sat in a
That's just
comfortable
how
chair.
good they are. You don't even notice the illusion's being ruined with the curtain behind you.
And you know what? All the players are loving the experience on LAN as well. Thanks to Draytech, network sponsor of the event. Lovely network switches. I haven't actually been up and down the rows and paying attention, but at the last LAN in Wolverhampton, Draytech also the sponsor there.
Yeah.
All of the network switches were on these monitor arms above the desks. It looked great. It looked fancy.
Next level cable management. It looked insane.
And if you think about it, also really smart. Sometimes you go to LAN, there's a network switch on the floor. Somebody kicks it, knocks out an entire row. Somebody spills their 2-litre bottle of...
It's much more accessible too.
You
don't have to get on the floor to start plugging in cables. Get on the top.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, the switches. High performance networking.
Yeah.
Which is what we want to see. This is why we're here on LAN.
If you want high performance networking, go for Draytech.
Draytech, exactly. And if you want a chair, get an Noble chair.
Especially if you want a Spider-Man chair.
Yeah. They can't actually see the spider there in the way that you've leaned. You're going to have to...
Let me lean a little bit further.
There we go, there's a spider. Look at that.
It's a great
Incredible.
time of year for spiders too.
Is it?
Halloween, isn't it?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It is indeed Halloween.
What's more important though is Epiclam.
It is.
Yeah,
And Counter-Strike.
That's what I
general.
associate with October, the last weekend of October.
I
I don't
agree.
think about Halloween, I think about Epiclam.
Epicland.
Yeah.
Autumn Epic.
Yeah.
And this is a
Autumn
good one. It's Epic 40, and there's a party on Saturday night.
Do you know what else is great about Autumn Epic?
I don't know. But
I won a trophy at the Epic 34.
Tim likes to mention this every time. Everywhere we go.
Yeah. We've
We
got
were-
a tally.
We were driving in this morning.
He's got
And
a
he was
tattoo.
like, oh, I can remember where we were going because when I won Epic 34, we were discussing strategy, and I remember I had to take a left turn into the left lane so that I could be ready to get off the roundabout. And then Tom came up with a great strategy that he called in the final moments of the game, and it won us the trophy. I'm sick of it, frankly.
Complete fabrication, of course. What isn't a fabrication is the fact that he's got a tattoo of a tally every time I mention that I won an Epic Land trophy. He tallies another tattoo on him.
Yeah, it's the reason why I am. If I was not wearing this shirt, it would just be covered in tallies.
Yeah, yeah, you'd look like you've gone insane.
Also a fabrication.
Yeah, also a fabrication. But what isn't a fabrication is the fact that I won an Epic 34 trophy.
If anybody is looking to become part of a Counter-Strike casting duo, please do DM me on Twitter.
Yeah, give you your CV, let them know how many trophies you've won.
Preferably 0. But it looks like we are ready to get back into the action.
To get back in the game, find out who's going to win the trophy here. Could be one of these two teams.
It could be. LVN looking to break the curse. Second place Farmer.
Second place curse, but also second place blessing, you could say. You know, some people would be happy with a second place.
Some people would be, but a competitor of LVN stature.
Yeah.
He wants first place or nothing.
I think judging by Make-A-Wish's performance so far, he'd be happy with a second place.
Yeah, given the way they're playing, yeah. Saying that, Igorek opens things up with the AWP.
Probably
It's already a big opening, and now absolute spray down here in middle. Perfect. Looking for the third, not going to land. Big man Barbarossa picks that one up. But even still, 2-man advantage for Make-A-Wish. Looking to make this 11. Oh, Igorek. What are you doing that for?
Absolute BM whipping out the jewellies just to finish him off. So much confidence.
He couldn't even see him. He was spamming through the smoke. And now
Heartless.
1v4.
Yeah, left alive. Just revealed the utility just being thrown.
Oh my God.
Zai's completely trolling there. He just sat crouched and default, chucking utility at the bar above him to go for the wide swing on the flash.
I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but I've just heard a full "What are you doing?" from across the LAN hall.
Yeah. And one thing I want to praise is Zyreem. He's LVN's brother, and he's by far the weakest player on this team. He's been accused of snods whilst playing in TLR. Shouted at LVN, "Is this bring your brother to work today?" Which I think is a fair estimate. He's currently only 5 and 10, but a brilliant
just
double
had
kill
impact.
brilliant double kill, brilliant position. The fact he repositioned, fell off to buy time for a teammate to come in, and then even secured the double kill. Beautifully played.
Heartless back down on a Mac 10 for this round, looking to keep Make-A-Wish away from map point. See if Invictum can manage it. They haven't got a lot of utility. They've only got a smoke, a HE grenade, and a flash. That's it. That's your lot. There's a minute 25 on the clock.
And the thing is, though, that they're not playing for any map control. They've not punished any aggression, any pushing, any information plays. Igorek has had all the freedom to post up deep on the ramp with an AWP. Consequently, Make-A-Wish are happy to rotate one of the 3 A players off and group up into middle to bolster that other side of the map.
Yeah, no, exactly that. And Igor,
first pick.
Another opening.
Yeah, looking strong on the AWP now that he's whipped that out. And now the rest of Invictum starting to group up, creep over towards B, where they're, again, there's no information play on this side.
Oh, lovely stuff. Sorex with the entries, even cognizant of quad, picks it up, looking for a third, doesn't quite land it. Vacancy holding strong in heaven. Equalise the numbers, 3 versus 3 as we move into the post plan. And he's going to just hold position here, wait for his teammates to rotate in, then start to bear down on the site, start to close the distance. Setting up a bit of retake utility.
Oh, it's missed. That smoke could have been nice if it landed in the equal box, but Heartless getting aggressive down Mac 10, trying to find a post-plan situation. In fact, he doubles up. A brilliant swing from him, disrupting that retake attempt.
And the round there the credit has to go to Sorex there with a beautiful entry, and then even being aware enough to pivot round, make sure he clears quad, almost gets the third on heaven as well.
He knows that Zyreem is the mid player, so as soon as he takes contact, spots that he's killed Zyreem, he's like, okay, that's not the normal B anchor. That means the B anchor's got to be here somewhere. The most common place to hide, quad. Complete pre-aim, lovely shot. Victim stay alive, stay afloat up to a 7th round. In fact, they've whipped out an AWP of their own.
HG going to blow the smoke, allow for vision, and look at it.
Oh my
God!
Shot!
pivoting round. LVN plucked off the rafters.
Good gosh.
They went for a cheeky HE play. I was about to praise it.
I know, it looked so promising. He caught him off guard completely. LVN not quite able to land the headshots in time.
Went for the Rocket League peak.
And now, Victim starts to fall off. But the thing is, Make-A-Wish, they've got all this information. Eager-X still had that freedom to jump spot. He gained that information back even after losing that pick. It enables a Make-A-Wish to bolster that defense back on the other side of the site. Now, in Victim, a minute left to play. They haven't made any decision as to where they want to go.
Yeah, they've just deployed a bit of utility onto the B side. That has drawn a player in.
And it's baited out so much utility for Make-A-Wish. Zorix even finding a pick. He's going to bait even rotate even more. In fact, it's broken apart the A setup completely. They drop off the boost, gathers the information for Invictum. They're able to identify exactly where they're playing. Baker's going for the wide swings, are only good for one. Eager-X, though, he's managed to find two in this whole process as they've fallen off the boost. The last two players for Invictum are on such low HP. This round has suddenly turned on its head for Make-A-Wish. Yeah,
and this is prime as well. The M4s, all they have to do is land a headshot on either of these players, maybe even a body shot in certain areas.
Thing is though, Zorix has completely cleared this B site. He got that initial opening pick, which, not the initial one, but that opening pick which cleared the B site for part of the setup. But Irene coming on that rotation again, this low HP coming into factor, and he gets the double kill. Putting Make-A-Wish up to 12, and they go on to map and match point.
More screams of what are you doing out of the Make-A-Wish camp. It was lovely the way they played that there, both peeking from opposite sides of the generator as soon as they knew where that last player was, securing that kill. And now they're on map point. Just one round, all that's required for Make-A-Wish to take this one home. Invictum on the back foot.
Yeah, looking a little bit lost here in terms of the trading. Again, this is an issue when you've got a combination of either less experienced players or being a mixed team, is sometimes the key fundamentals of the trading can be really lacking. You had that man advantage, you had the opportunity, you had the prime time to strike that A site as the setup breaks, but you don't trade on those frags, you get picked apart. Especially when Eager-X was able to get that double kill. Now we've got a wide swing. Here we go, the numbers coming into it. Grouping up 5-man Counter-Strike is what you want to see, especially on Vertigo. Ensuring those trades come into effect. LVN using an outdated smoke, I have to say. Now in CS2, on the ramp, on the top of the sandbag. It's going to deny and deter Invictum. Max has managed to creep his way all the way up to danger, where again, Zai, he's not getting too much information, but in fact he's playing with a Nova of all things.
You know what? I love to see it. I'm expecting at least an ace out of Zai here, but we'll see.
Nova, yeah.
Utility is going to rain in on the bomb site. Max dropping a flash for himself, and he's going to start peeking in. Pre-firing a couple of shots. Dink comes out of the Nova. It's a lot of damage dealt.
Max, as soon as he gets dinked, he turns around, runs away.
He's out of there. Zai in a lot of trouble. There it is. First kill on the shotgun. Looking for a second. Location revealed. He's going to get spammed down through the smoke, and Make-A-Wish are starting to fall apart a little bit. Eager-X does get one on the response, and in fact, he's doubled up. AK headshot onto Zorix, 2 versus 2, still plenty of time on the bomb, and 2 kits in play. Eager-X now moving in closer, closing this distance down, looking to try and isolate a 1v1 fight here, and I think he might have just managed to slip the net. He knows where Captain Barbarossa is, picks up the kill, pivots round! Max is going to come out on top, but only just.
Only just. The thing is, I was about to, well, I'd say flame. Yeah, I'll just say flame. I was about to flame Max before he did this there. He was the entry fragger going in first. As soon as he got dinked by the Nova, he whipped his knife out, turned around, and ran away. He retreated, even blocked his teammate from getting in to try and support. That's not what you want to see. But he closes it out, the 1 versus 1. Does keep things alive.
Nova's scary.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't blame it. It's scary. But no, it's a Nova. It's a Nova. It takes a long time to pump that, the end of that.
The effect on Make-A-Wish's economy is pretty substantial here. We've got the Nova back out, which I love to see, this time on Eager-X. Now LVN's on a nice off angle here. He should be good for 1 kill here. There it is. Heartland's gone down. You see them reeling. They didn't know where it was coming from. Trade, luckily, is quick.
I reckon he could have stepped up there and got more. They didn't look like they had no idea where they were getting shot from. Especially with the USP, the silenced weapon.
Flashbang for Zai to come through the smoke with the Julie. He's picked up a kill. Surely not like this Invictum. He's even landed a dink on the player in sandbags. Closing the distance yet again. Tapping away, unable to quite land it. A goosh and 3 kills come through instantaneously. This should be the round now for Invictum. Just vacancy alone with the Deagle. Working his way in, spots the head, lands the headshot. Even jumps upon the sandbags. He's doubled up. Zorix taken down, brought things into a 1 versus 1. This is a round that Vacancy had no business getting anywhere close.
Cover.
He's defusing it in cover. He has no defuse kit though. But Captain Barbarossa, he's not pushing into it. He's going the full stick. Vacancy's won it. He's gone off the defuse.
He's gone off the defuse. He had time. He had time. The bomb was not planted for one, the bomb was not planted for Ivy. Captain Barbosa, what are you doing post-planting an Ivy for a start? One, it's a dreadful post-plant no matter what, regardless of where it's planted. Two, it's not even planted for you. 10-second defuse, and oh my goodness, Vacancy gets off the bomb. He could have won it, closed it out there and then. Either way, though, the damage has been done. 4 kills goes the way of Make-A-Wish. No, 5 kills, sorry. They got all 5 kills. They killed all the players, which means full reinvestments have to come on out for Invictum. Make-A-Wish can afford a buy here. That whole round is going to be scary. The comms, I can imagine, for Invictum are going to be chaotic. They're going to be stressed. They're going to be tilted, regardless of winning that round. They know that they were 1 second away from losing that.
I'm tilted, Tim. But it's fine. We may do.
If you're tilted, how are Invictum feeling?
Exactly. 3 rounds. All that separate them from overtime.
Dominant attempt at a 1 versus 3 clutch. 3 rounds in it between these two teams. Go on, Invictum. Playing things slower in what looks like a 3-player play towards middle. 3 of them posturing in a 1-3-1, hopefully playing that trade game. 1 player making a little bit of presence on that ramp. Here the contact comes in. Early HE. It's not really going to do anything other than reveal their location.
I like this.
Bit of a waste.
Zyrene being boosted up.
Nice
There's
boost.
a timing to catch here.
He's not quite aware of the angles. He wants to go for this swing. Oh my goodness, Zyrene, what are you doing?
That's fine. It's at least brought Igorek in to get a kill and trade.
But it wasn't necessary. If they relied on the setup, they could have got 2 and survived.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Utilities burn on
Invictum. That's a nice headshot though.
Yeah,
Quite much.
In a 4 versus 4, the CTs have to try and find something to get an advantage back in the round, find some information to make an informed decision so they're not at a disadvantage. And consequently, Igorek pushes into someone's crosshair, falls down, and now a man advantage goes the way of Invictum, all because of that Zyrene over peak. Invictum grouping up. This is what you want to see. You've got that man advantage playing 4-man Counter-Strike. Only way you lose once you've got an advantage is trade. I love this play from LVN though. He smoked off the crane. That's going to make it look like he's fallen off to the side. Flash comes on in.
There it is.
Perfect, and he gets the lineup. Double kill. Lovely flash from Vacancy. You can see that 7 AM chemistry.
He's still alive.
And in fact, they go for the play, and Vacancy just mows them down.
I mean, there's a lot of screaming coming out of the Make-A-Wish count, and I can understand it because I don't understand that play. Going for the plant already when you're surrounded. You know that LVN is in sandbag.
It's an exposed plant, 2 sandbags. I don't know what's going through the thought process there for Invictum, and I think they're going to be aware of that. They're going to be tilted. They know they've been making mistakes, and the issue is they've got such a wide range of experience, and if you're getting tilted, people are going to make worse decisions. People aren't going to be communicating, playing together. They're going to be turtling back into their shells. They're not going to be proactive, and you're not going to be able to win rounds against teams such as Make-A-Wish, who have been making the mistakes.
Yeah. In the words of UK Counter-Strike hero Tim Musters, if tilting makes you play bad, just don't do it. Timspiration. There it is. Right, that's us done for now. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back with more group stage games here at Epic 40, powered by Intel. We'll see you in a bit.
Hello, Overclockers, and welcome. Oh, screw this. Where's A-Tuck when you need him?